The Empire fled in fear. All humans did was invite them to dinner. Part 1. The large alien ship hung in space above Earth. It was gray and shaped like a flat disk with small bumps along its sides. Inside the ship, Admiral Zix stared at the blue planet. His skin was pale blue and his 4 eyes blinked one after another. He was afraid. "Report," he said to his crew. Officer Neil walked up with a tablet. "The planet is called Earth. The main species calls themselves humans. They are dangerous." Neil's voice shook a little. "Show me," said Admiral Zix. A large screen lit up. It showed pictures from Earth. People eating at tables with knives and forks. Cooks chopping meat and vegetables. Hunters with guns. Barbecues with fire and smoke. "They are meat eaters," said Officer Neil. "They kill other life forms and cook them with fire. They use sharp metal tools to cut flesh. They do this every day." Admiral Zix felt all 3 of his hearts beat faster. His people, the Vexari, ate only plants and simple proteins. The idea of killing other creatures for food was shocking to them. "There is more," said Neil. "They have many wars in their history. They make weapons. They fight each other." "Why are we here?" asked Zix. "Why did the Empire send us to this awful place?" Captain Lore stepped forward. "The Void Collective is getting stronger. We need new allies, even strange ones. The Empire Council picked humans because they are tough. The Council thinks humans might help us fight." Zix did not like this plan. "We should leave. These humans are too dangerous. We have orders," said Captain Lore. "We must try to talk to them." Down on Earth, things were busy at the NASA Space Center. Lily Hall was the first person to notice the alien ship. She was looking at her computer screen when she saw something strange. "Alan, come look at this," she called to her friend. Alan Bell walked over. His eyes got big when he saw the screen. "That's not one of our satellites," he said. "And it's not space junk." "It's a ship," said Lily. I think it might be aliens." Alan stared for a minute. "We need to tell the boss right now." Soon. The whole NASA center was busy. Phones rang, people ran from room to room, the news spread fast. Aliens had come to Earth. In Washington, the president called an emergency meeting. The big room was full of important people. They all talked at once. "We should shoot it down," said General Jones. He was an old man with a hard face. "It could be a threat." "We can't do that," said Dr. Owen, who studied space. "This is the most important moment in human history. We need to talk to them, learn from them." "What if they want to hurt us?" asked someone else. "If they wanted to hurt us, they could have done it already," said Dr. Owen. "They have ships that can travel across space. Their weapons must be very strong, but they're just sitting there, watching." The president looked tired. "We need to send them a message," she said. "A friendly one. We need to show them we come in peace." Carl Smith raised his hand. He was a language expert. "I can help with that," he said. "We can send math patterns that show we are smart. Then simple pictures. Then maybe they will answer." The president nodded. "Do it. But General, keep our defenses ready, just in case." Back on the alien ship, Admiral Zix and his crew got the message from Earth. It was simple math problems, then pictures of humans waving. "They are trying to look friendly," said Officer Neil. "But look at their teeth in this picture. Those are predator teeth, for tearing flesh." Admiral Zix felt sick. "What should we say back?" "The Empire wants peace with these humans," said Captain Lore. "We should answer." The aliens sent a message back to Earth. It showed their ship and simple pictures of their people. The Vexari looked like tall, thin blue people with 4 eyes and no hair. On Earth, everyone was excited when they got the alien pictures. "They answered," said Carl. "This is amazing." "What do we do next?" asked the president. "We should invite them to meet us," said Dr. Owen. "Face to face." "That seems dangerous," said General Jones. "We need to show trust," said Dr. Owen. "Let's invite their leaders to the United Nations building. We can have a meeting with leaders from all Earth countries." The president thought about it. "Okay," she said. "But we need tight security." Carl made a new message for the aliens. It showed the United Nations building and people from different countries meeting inside. Then it showed the alien ship landing and the aliens coming out to meet humans. On the ship, Admiral Zix and his officers looked at the new message. "They want us to land," said Captain Lore. "To meet them in person." "No," said Officer Neil. "It's a trap. Look at this building. See all the tables inside? See the chairs? This is a dining room. They are inviting us to dinner. As the food." Admiral Zix looked closer at the pictures. The United Nations did have many tables. And in human culture, important meetings often happened over meals. "They want to eat us," whispered Zix. He felt cold with fear. "We should leave now," said Officer Neil. "Go back to the Empire and tell them humans are too dangerous." "But our orders," started Captain Lore. "Our orders didn't say we should let ourselves be eaten," said Neil. Admiral Zix made up his mind. "Send one more message," he said. "Then we leave." The last message from the aliens was short. It showed their ship flying away from Earth, then nothing. In the NASA center, people were confused. "They're leaving," said Lily. "But why? What did we do wrong?" Alan shook his head. Maybe they didn't like something in our message? No one knew. The truth, that the mighty Vixari Empire, with all its ships and technology, had run away because they thought humans wanted to eat them for dinner. As the alien ship jumped into deep space, Admiral Zix made a note in his log. "Earth is dangerous. Humans are meat-eating predators. They invited us to their eating place. We escaped just in time." Back on Earth, humans looked up at the sky and wondered when the aliens would return. They didn't know it would take a lot more work, and many funny mix-ups, before the two species would finally understand each other. The Empire fled in fear. All humans did was invite them to dinner. Part 2. 6 months passed since the alien ship left Earth. People still talked about it. Scientists still studied the pictures and messages the aliens had sent. No one knew why. They had left so suddenly. Lily Hall sat at her desk at NASA, looking at the alien messages for the 100th time. She had been promoted after being the first to spot the alien ship. Now she led a small team trying to understand what went wrong. "I just don't get it," she said to Alan Bell, who now worked with her. The aliens seemed interested at first. Then, they just ran away. Alan nodded. "It's like they got scared of something." Lily looked closer at the last message the aliens had sent. It showed their ship flying away from Earth. What if they really were scared? But of what? While Lily and her team worked on this puzzle, far away in space, the Vexari Empire had problems of their own. Admiral Zix stood before the Empire Council. The room was large with tall blue walls. 7 old Vexari sat at a round table. They did not look happy. "You did what?" asked the head council member. Her name was Elder Vax. She was very old with pale skin that was almost white. "We left Earth," said Admiral Zix. "The humans were going to eat us." Elder Vax blinked all 4 of her eyes at once. "Eat you? That's silly. Why would you think that?" "They invited us to their eating place," said Zix. "We saw pictures of them cutting flesh with metal tools. They are meat eaters. Predators." Elder Vax sighed. "Did they actually try to hurt you?" "Well, no," admitted Zix. "But they might have if we had landed." "The Void Collective is getting closer to our space every day," said Elder Vax. "We need new allies. The humans have strong weapons and are good fighters. We need them to help us." "But they eat meat," said Zix. "Many species in the galaxy eat meat," said another council member. "We trade with some of them. They don't eat us." Admiral Zix felt foolish now. Maybe he had been too afraid. Maybe he had made a mistake. "We are sending you back to Earth," said Elder Vax. "Take first contact specialist Tala with you. She has studied many different species. She will help you understand the humans better." Zix wanted to argue but knew he couldn't. "Yes, Elder," he said. Back on Earth, Lily was in the middle of a meeting when alarms started going off. "The aliens are back," someone shouted, running into the room. Everyone rushed to their screens. Sure enough, the same disc-shaped ship was back in orbit around Earth. "Get the president on the line," said Lily's boss. and someone called Dr. Owen. Soon, the same group that had met 6 months ago was back in the White House meeting room. "They're trying to contact us," said Carl Smith, the language expert. "The message pattern is similar to before, but more complex." "What are they saying?" asked the president. Carl worked with his team for an hour, then came back. "They want to try again," he said. "They say there was a mistake before. They want to meet us." "Do we trust them?" asked General Jones. "They ran away last time for no reason." "I think we should try," said Dr. Owen. "This is too important to give up." The president thought it over. "Okay, but this time let's ask them what went wrong before. And let's have the meeting outside, not in a building. Maybe they didn't like the UN building for some reason." The humans sent a new message to the aliens. It showed pictures of a field with a simple tent. It showed humans waiting there with no weapons. It asked why the aliens had left before. On the alien ship, First Contact Specialist Tala looked at the human message. She was younger than most Vexari officers, with bright blue skin and quick eyes. "They want to know why we left," she said to Admiral Zix. "They seem confused." "Should we tell them the truth?" asked Zix. "Yes," said Tala. "Honesty is good for building trust, but I need to check something first." Tala spent hours studying the data they had on humans. She looked at their eating habits, their meetings, their buildings. "Admiral," she said, finally, "I think we made a mistake. Yes, humans eat meat, but they don't eat other thinking beings. They only eat animals from their own planet. They were not planning to eat us." "Are you sure?" asked Zix. "Almost certain," said Tala. "Look at their history. They have never eaten any new species they met, even on their own planet. And the United Nations building is not just for eating. It's their big meeting place for all countries." Admiral Zix felt both relieved and embarrassed. "So their invitation was just to talk, not to eat us?" "Exactly," said Tala. "And now they've invited us again in an open field where we can feel safe. I think we should go." The aliens sent a message back to Earth. It explained that they had been afraid because they thought humans might want to eat them. They apologized for the mistake and said they would meet in the field as suggested. When Lily read this message, she burst out laughing. "What's so funny?" asked Alan. "They thought we wanted to eat them," Lily said, still laughing. "That's why they ran away." Soon everyone at NASA was laughing. The news spread quickly to the White House. "Well, that explains it," said the president with a smile. "They're plant eaters who were scared of our meat-eating ways." "Now we know what not to do," said Dr. Owen. "No hamburgers at the first meeting." 2 days later, a small group of humans waited in a field in Wyoming. There was the president, Dr. Owen, Carl Smith, General Jones, who insisted on coming, and Lily Hall, who had earned her place there. The alien ship landed nearby, much smaller than the main ship in orbit. It was smooth and quiet. A door opened. 3 aliens walked out slowly. They were tall and blue with 4 eyes, just like in the pictures they had sent. They wore simple silver clothes. One was clearly older, one looked strong like a soldier, and one seemed younger and moved with more energy. "Welcome to Earth," said the president, stepping forward with her hands open to show she had no weapons. The younger alien stepped forward too. "Thank you," it said in a voice that sounded like it had practiced human words. "I am Tala. We are the Vexari. We are sorry for our mistake before." "We understand," said the president. "Different species, different customs. We're just glad you came back." "We need to talk about something important," said Tala. "About a danger to both our peoples." The humans looked at each other. This was not what they expected. "Of course," said the president. "Would you like to sit down?" She pointed to simple chairs that had been set up. The aliens looked nervous but sat down carefully. "There is a species, called the Void Collective," said Tala. "They attack other worlds. They take resources. They are coming closer to your part of space and ours. The Vexari Empire needs allies to fight them. That's why we came to Earth." The humans were quiet for a moment. "You're asking us to join you in a war?" asked General Jones. "Not yet," said Tala. First, we need to learn about each other, become friends, maybe trade. Then, if the Void Collective comes, we can help each other. The president nodded slowly. That seems reasonable. And it's good you told us about this threat. So what happens next? Asked Dr. Owen. Next, said Tala, with all four eyes blinking in a pattern that might have been a smile. We talk more. We learn. And maybe, if you are comfortable with it, you can show us how humans eat, just so we understand better. I think we can do that, said the president, as long as you promise not to run away again. We promise, said Tala. And for the first time, humans and aliens started to really understand each other. The Empire fled in fear. All humans did was invite them to dinner. Part 3-1. Month after the meeting in the field, things were moving quickly. The Vexari had set up a small base near Denver, Colorado. It was a plain building with a landing pad for their ships. 20 Vexari now lived there, learning about humans and teaching humans about their species. Lily Hall had been picked to work at the new base. She was in charge of helping the Vexari understand human culture. It was not easy. So you never eat any animals? Lily asked Tala as they walked through a garden near the base. Never, said Tala. Our bodies can't even digest meat. It would make us very sick. That explains a lot, said Lily. No wonder you were scared when you saw our cooking shows. Tala's four eyes blinked in a pattern that Lily now knew meant she was smiling. We thought you were showing off your killing skills. Now I understand you just like to share food. Speaking of sharing food, said Lily, the president wants to have a special dinner with your leaders to show friendship between our species. Tala stopped walking. A dinner? With Admiral Zix and the other leaders? Yes. Don't worry. We'll make special food for the Vexari. Plants only, I promise. Tala seemed nervous. This is a big step. Sharing food is very important to humans, isn't it? Very, said Lily. It's one of our oldest ways to show friendship and trust. Breaking bread together, we call it. Breaking bread? Tala looked confused. It's just an old saying. It means eating together as friends. Tala thought for a moment. I will talk to Admiral Zix. I think this is good, but some Vexari are still nervous about human eating habits. That night, Tala met with Admiral Zix in his office at the base. The walls were plain white, but Zix had put up pictures of the Vexari homeworld. A planet with purple plants and 3 moons. A dinner? Said Zix when Tala told him about the invitation. With humans? It's their way of showing friendship, said Tala. We should go. Officer Neil, who was also in the room, shook his head. It's too risky. What if it's a trap? Tala sighed. It's not a trap. I've spent hours with these humans. They don't want to hurt us. They're curious and friendly, and they need to know about the Void Collective. Admiral Zix walked to the window and looked out at the Earth sunset. The sky was orange and red. We need them as allies, he said finally. If that means eating with them, we will do it. I will tell them yes, said Tala, happy with the decision. The dinner was planned for the next week at a special building in Washington, D.C. Both sides worked hard to get ready. The humans had many meetings about what food to serve and how to make the Vexari comfortable. The Vexari studied human dining customs to avoid mistakes. When the big day came, Lily was on the team that went with the Vexari to Washington. They flew in a human plane, which made some of the aliens nervous. Your flying machines are so loud, said Tala, holding tight to her seat. Sorry about that, said Lily. Your ships are much smoother. They use gravity control, not burning fuel, said Tala. But it's fine. We need to learn about each other. All of it, even the noisy parts. The dinner was held in a room with tall windows and a long table. The president was there with 10 other important humans, scientists, leaders, and even General Jones, who still didn't fully trust the aliens. Admiral Zix led the Vexari group. He wore a special silver suit for important meetings. Tala stood next to him as the translator. 3 other Vexari officers were there too, including Officer Neil, who looked around as if expecting danger. Welcome, said the president, walking up to greet them. "We are honored to share a meal with you," Tala translated, and Admiral Zix nodded his head in the way humans did to say yes. "We are honored too," he said, with Tala saying the words in English. They all sat at the table. The humans were on one side, the Vexari on the other. There were two kinds of food, earth food for the humans and special plant food for the Vexari. At first, everyone was quiet and a bit nervous. Then the president stood up and held a glass. "On Earth, we often make a toast before an important meal," she said. "We raise our glasses and drink to something we hope for." Tala quickly explained this to the Vexari, who carefully picked up their glasses of fruit juice. "To new friends," said the president, "and to peace between our worlds." Everyone drank. Then the eating began. The Vexari watched carefully as the humans used forks and knives. The aliens had similar tools but used them differently. They cut their plants into very small pieces before eating. Lily sat next to Tala and noticed that Officer Neil was not eating. "Is he okay?" she whispered. "He's still scared," said Tala quietly, "but he'll be fine." Slowly, people began to talk. Dr. Owen asked about Vexari science. A human diplomat asked about their government. Admiral Zix, who was sitting next to the president, even told a story about getting lost on his first space trip as a young officer. The dinner was going well. Then a waiter brought in the main dish for the humans, roast beef. It was on a big plate and still had the shape of the meat. The waiter started cutting it right there at the table. Officer Neil saw this and jumped up. "Meat!" he shouted in the Vexari language. "They're cutting flesh right in front of us." Admiral Zix stood up too, looking pale. The other Vexari looked uncomfortable. The humans didn't understand what was happening. The president looked confused. "Is something wrong?" she asked. Tala quickly stepped in. "I'm sorry," she said to the president. "Some of us are still not used to seeing meat being cut. It's a bit shocking for Vexari." The president understood right away. "I'm so sorry. We should have been more thoughtful. Please remove that dish," she said to the waiter, "and bring the vegetable options for everyone." The waiter took away the roast beef. The Vexari slowly sat down again. "We didn't mean to upset you," said the president to Admiral Zix. "We still have much to learn about each other." Tala translated, and Admiral Zix nodded. "It is not your fault," he said. "We know humans eat meat. We just were not ready to see it so real. Next time, we'll have only plant food," said the president. "For everyone." The dinner continued, a bit awkward at first, but soon back to normal. By the end, even Officer Neil was talking with the humans. As they were leaving, Admiral Zix spoke to the president. "This was good," he said. "Different, but good. Our peoples can be friends, I think." "I think so too," said the president. "And next week, maybe you can show us how Vexari eat on your world." "We would like that," said the admiral, and for the first time he made a human smile. The Empire fled in fear. All humans did was invite them to dinner. Part 3 months passed since the first dinner between humans and Vexari. In that time, much had changed. The small Vexari base near Denver had grown. Now 100 aliens lived there. Humans and Vexari worked together every day. They shared knowledge about space, science, and their different cultures. Lily Hall had become good friends with Tala. They met almost daily, sometimes at the base, sometimes in nearby towns. Today they were at a small park, sitting on a bench by a lake. "The Void Collective is getting closer," said Tala, her blue skin looking darker than usual. "Our scouts have seen their ships near the edge of your solar system." Lily looked worried. "How dangerous are they?" "Very," said Tala. "They don't talk or make deals. They just take what they want. They have destroyed 12 planets in the last 50 years. Does Admiral Zix know?" "Yes. He has called for more Vexari ships to come here. But it will take time. We might not have much time." They sat quietly for a while, watching birds fly over the lake. "There's something else," said Tala finally. "The Vexari Council wants to invite human leaders to our homeworld to sign a formal alliance against the Void Collective. Lily's eyes got wide. Humans? Going to your planet? That's amazing. It's never happened before, said Tala. No non-Vexari has ever been to our world. When would this happen? Soon. Admiral Zix asked me to help pick the humans who would go. I think you should be one of them. Lily couldn't believe it. Me? But I'm not a leader or a diplomat. You understand Vexari better than most humans, and Admiral Zix trusts you. The next day, Lily met with the president and other officials in Washington. The room was smaller than the dinner room, with just a round table and simple chairs. The Vexari have invited us to their homeworld, said the president. This is a great honor and a big step forward. General Jones, who had slowly come to accept the aliens, nodded. It's also a chance to see their military technology up close. We need to know what we're dealing with if this Void Collective is real. It is real, said Dr. Owen, who had spent weeks studying Vexari data on the enemy. And it's a threat to both our species. The president looked at Lily. Ms. Hall, you've been recommended to join our delegation. Are you willing to go? Yes, said Lily without hesitation. I would be honored. Good. We leave in 2 weeks. The Vexari will provide the ship. The news of humans going to the Vexari homeworld spread quickly. Some people were excited, others were worried. Alan Bell caught up with Lily in the hallway after the meeting. You're really going to another planet? He seemed both impressed and concerned. Looks that way, said Lily with a smile. First humans to see the Vexari world. Be careful, said Alan. We still don't know everything about them. They're our friends now, said Lily. This is what we've worked for. 2 weeks later, Lily stood with 5 other humans near the Vexari base in Denver. The others were the president, Dr. Owen, General Jones, Carl Smith, the language expert, and a diplomat named Sue Miller. They all watched as a large Vexari ship landed on the pad. It was silver and smooth, bigger than the small ships they had seen before. Admiral Zix and Tala walked out to greet them. Welcome, said Zix through Tala's translation. We are ready for the journey to Vexar. The humans followed them into the ship. Inside, it was clean and simple, with soft blue lights and curved walls. There were special seats for the humans, made to fit their bodies, which were different from Vexari bodies. The trip will take 3 days, said Tala. We have prepared rooms for you with Earth-like conditions. The ship took off so smoothly that Lily hardly felt it move. Soon they were leaving Earth's atmosphere, watching as the blue planet got smaller. Below them. It's beautiful, said the president, looking at Earth from space. Yes, said Admiral Zix. Your world has much water. Ours has less, but more plants. After a few hours, the ship made a jump into what Tala called fold space. The stars outside the windows turned into streaks of light, then disappeared. Life on the ship was interesting. The humans had to get used to Vexari food, which was mostly strange purple and blue plants. The Vexari had set up special sleeping rooms for the humans with beds, since Vexari slept standing up in special chambers. Lily spent much of her time with Tala, learning more about Vexari culture. Tell me about your family, she asked as they sat in a viewing room looking out at fold space. I have a life mate and 2 young ones, said Tala. They are at the main Vexari colony on our 3rd moon. You must miss them. Yes, but this work is important. If we don't stop the Void Collective, none of our families will be safe. On the 3rd day, Admiral Zix called everyone to the main room. We are about to leave fold space, he said. You will see our homeworld soon. The humans gathered by the big windows. The ship came out of fold space with a slight bump. In front of them was a large planet, mostly green and purple with some blue oceans. It had 3 moons, just as Tala had said. Vexar, said Admiral Zix with pride in his voice. Our homeworld for 10,000 years. The ship moved toward their planet. As they got closer, they could see cities on the surface. They were different from Earth cities, more spread out, with tall, thin buildings and lots of green space between them. It's beautiful, said Lily. Thank you, said Tala. We think so too. The ship landed at a large spaceport near the biggest city. When the doors opened, the humans got their first breath of Vexari air. It was a bit thinner than Earth air, with a sweet smell like flowers. A group of Vexari was waiting for them. In front was a very old Vexari with almost white skin. She wore a long silver robe with strange symbols on it. Elder Vax, whispered Tala to Lily. The head of our council. Elder Vax stepped forward and raised all four hands in a Vexari greeting. Welcome, humans, she said, speaking in English. Her voice was soft but clear. You are the first humans to visit our world. We welcome you as friends and possible allies. The President stepped forward and bowed slightly. Thank you for your welcome. We come in peace and friendship and to talk about the danger we both face. Elder Vax nodded. Yes, the Void Collective. But first we have prepared a special welcome meal for you. A dinner where our peoples can truly meet as friends. The President smiled. We would be honored. As they walked toward a large building with a dome roof, Lily looked at Tala. A dinner? With meat for us and plants for you? Yes, said Tala. We have learned much about humans in these months. We know now that sharing food, even different kinds of food, is a way to build trust. And we need that trust now more than ever. Lily nodded. The universe was big and sometimes scary. But if different species could share a meal together, maybe there was hope after all. The Empire fled in fear. All humans did was invite them to dinner. Part 5. The dinner on the Vexari homeworld was held in a large round room. The ceiling was high and made of clear material that showed the 3 moons of Vexar in the night sky. The walls were covered with living plants that glowed with soft blue and purple light. In the center was a round table big enough for all the humans and the important Vexari. Lily sat between Tala and Dr. Owen. The President sat next to Elder Vax. Around them were other Vexari leaders, all watching the humans with interest. This room is amazing, said Lily, looking up at the moons. It is our great meeting hall, said Tala. Used only for the most important events. No other aliens have ever eaten here. Servers brought in food on large silver trays. The Vexari food was mostly purple and blue plants, some raw and some cooked in special ways. For the humans, there was food from Earth, including some meat dishes. But they were prepared so they didn't look too much like animals, to avoid making the Vexari uncomfortable. Elder Vax stood up and raised a glass filled with blue liquid. 2 new friends, she said in careful English, and to working together against our common enemy. Everyone drank. The blue liquid was sweet and made Lily feel warm inside. Now, said Elder Vax, we eat together as friends. The dinner went well. The Vexari had clearly worked hard to make the humans feel welcome. They asked many questions about Earth and human culture. The humans told stories about their world, and the Vexari shared stories about theirs. In the middle of the meal, Elder Vax turned to the President. We have a gift for humans, she said, to show our trust. She nodded to a Vexari server, who brought a small silver box to the table. Elder Vax opened it and took out a small device that looked like a blue stone. This is Vexari technology, she said. It can make plants grow twice as fast and need less water. It will help feed your people. The President looked surprised and pleased. Thank you. This is a wonderful gift. We will use it well. We have another gift, said Elder Vax. More important? She looked at Admiral Zix, who nodded. The Void Collective is near your solar system, said Elder Vax. They will attack soon. We will help you fight them. Vexari ships are coming to Earth now. They will help protect your world. The room was quiet. The humans looked at each other. You already sent ships? Asked General Jones. Without asking us? There was no time to ask, said Admiral Zix. The Void Collective moves fast. We needed to act quickly. The President thought for a moment. We thank you for your help, but in the future, we would like to be part of these decisions. Elder Vax nodded. Of course, that is why you are here, to make a formal alliance. Equal partners, equal partners, repeated the president. I like that. After dinner, the humans were shown to their sleeping rooms in a nearby building. The rooms were made to be comfortable for humans, with special beds and Earth-like air. Lily couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about everything that had happened. Just a few months ago, the Vexari had run away from Earth in fear. Now humans were on their homeworld, making plans to fight together against a common enemy. There was a soft knock on her door. It was Tala. Can't sleep? Asked the Vexari. No, said Lily. Too much to think about. Come with me. I want to show you something. Lily followed Tala through quiet halls and out into a garden. The plants here were strange and beautiful, glowing softly in the dark. Above them, the 3 moons of Vexar made patterns of light on the ground. This is beautiful, said Lily. It's my favorite place, said Tala. I come here to think. She pointed to a bench made of some kind of stone. They sat down together. Something big is happening, said Tala. Our people's meeting like this. It has never happened before. Do you think the alliance will work? Asked Lily. I hope so. We need each other. Tala looked up at the stars. The Void Collective is strong. They destroyed worlds of other species who tried to fight alone. But together, maybe we have a chance. What are they like? The Void Collective? Tala was quiet for a moment. We don't know much. They don't talk, they don't make deals, they just take. Some say they are not even organic life anymore, but living machines. They sat in silence for a while. Tomorrow we see the Vexari fleet, said Tala. The ships that will help protect Earth. I think your General Jones will be impressed. I hope so, said Lily. He's still not entirely convinced about this alliance. He will be, said Tala, when he sees our ships. The next morning, the humans were taken to a large spaceport outside the city. There were ships everywhere, landing and taking off. Some were small, like the one that brought them to Vexar. Others were huge, bigger than Earth's largest aircraft carriers. These are just some of our ships, said Admiral Zix as they walked through the port. We have sent 30 ships to Earth already. 50 more will go soon. General Jones looked at the ships with professional interest. What kind of weapons do they have? Energy weapons, force shields. They can fight in space or in atmosphere. The general nodded, clearly impressed. And they're all going to help us? Yes. The Void Collective is a threat to all life. We must fight together. Later that day, the humans and Vexari leaders met in a big room with a round table. They talked for hours about the alliance, about how they would work together, about what each side would do. Finally, the president and Elder Vax signed a document. It was written in both English and the Vexari language. It is done, said Elder Vax. Humans and Vexari are now allies. That night there was another dinner. This one was bigger, with more Vexari attending. There was music and even some dancing, both human and Vexari styles. Lily found Tala near the end of the party. It worked, she said. Our peoples are friends now. Yes, said Tala. All because we invited you to dinner and didn't eat you. She made the blinking pattern that was a Vexari smile. Lily laughed. And all because we invited you to dinner and you didn't run away. Well, not the second time anyway. They both looked up at the stars visible through the clear ceiling. Somewhere out there, the Void Collective was coming. But they would face it together. 2 different species, from 2 different worlds, who had overcome their fears and found friendship over dinner.